Hi y'all, Knife Detector here, and this is going to be a quickie, I kid you not. So a while back, I saw Tobias Gibson. If you guys have not seen Tobias's channel, you need to check out his channel, Tobias Gibson. He does the best knife reviews I have ever seen. He recently did a video on the Muskrat, the venerable Muskrat. And I happen to have one of those. And I got a Muskrat probably a couple of years ago in a knife lot I bought from eBay. And I have to say, I had not been a huge fan of the Muskrat. Mainly because I thought these two blades, okay, they look very similar. So in this case, I think it might be the exact same blade. So why do I need two blades, I thought, that look exactly the same and do exactly the same thing? I started to do a little bit of research on what the Muskrat was for, and the Muskrat is mostly for processing small game. And I thought to myself, those blades probably have a lot of purposes you can use it for. That style of blade is probably also really good for whittling and other things. And what I use it for, guys, is for cutting my meat and my steak, and that's what I usually use it to cut with, or that's what I usually cut with it. But check this beautiful boy out. And this is a Muskrat from Rough Ryder. It's a Rough Ryder Muskrat, and I believe this type of handle is called burnt pearl bone. I might be mistaken, but I think that's what I've seen it as, burnt pearl bone. So let's take a closer look at this Muskrat. It's about 4 inches long, guys. Yeah, you can see the bone there. It does kind of look a little bit pearlescent, or at least very polished. Yeah. It's a good looking knife. I happen to use this more often than I thought I would. Notice how it has Rough Ryder, and it's spelled with an I, not a Y. So this is before they changed it to a Y. And, of course, it's got China right there. Over here, we have razor sharp 440 steel is what it is. And let's check this out. Let's check out the snap. Let's close this. Snap closed. Snap closed. Very nice. Check out this beautiful pattern of knife right here. It's a beautiful knife, guys, and it's very well done. Check out the brass liners. The fit and finish of this knife is actually quite nice. And many times I've nearly sold this knife when I've sold a knife lot on eBay, and I thought, well, I got this in a knife lot, maybe I'll just sell it back in a knife lot. And then I find myself, right before I put the item up for sale, I pull it off the lot. I say to myself, I want to keep that knife, and I end up pulling it out, and I've never sold it because it is a very good utilitarian knife. To me, a knife isn't worth much if you can't use it, and if you can use it, to me, it's doing its job as a tool, and it's performing its intended purpose. And this Muskrat will do that for you. I think right now there's another really awesome knife out there called the Carnivore that's kind of in a Muskrat pattern, I believe. There's a really cool knife called the Carnivore. I think that William over at William's Knife Life also did a video on that Carnivore type knife. Now that Carnivore is very similar to this one, except it has a serrated blade, if you can imagine that. So that is something that is definitely on my radar. So one thing that I mention sometimes is sometimes I think there's this collective consciousness among us knife guys that we tend to be thinking about the same types of knives. And William also made, over at William's Knife Life, also made a video on the Rough Ryder Workman series knife, the electrician's knife. And Tobias Gibson had also done a video on that, and that's another one that's been on my radar, and that's an up-and-coming video for me. In fact, I like that Workman so much, I bought two, one to use, one to keep. I do that sometimes when I kind of get a little bit impulsive and I want to make sure I don't miss out on one opportunity, so I make one offer and then it goes through, but before that I buy another one. Anyway, you know how it is, knifers. You know how it is. Sometimes, we can't control the habit. And knife collecting can be an addictive habit. That's why we need to watch our expenses. But in any case, this is a beautiful little Muskrat. It is a very useful tool. Fits in your pocket just snugly. I mean, I love this little guy. And I probably won't part with it for a very long time, if at all. Check out that beautiful white bone. I mean, come on. Does it get any more prettier than that, the white bone? I don't think so, guys. Yeah, and those scratches that are there, I put them on there from having it in my pocket, by the way. Yeah, from using it. Okay, guys, so this is the knife detector saying I got a lot more fun videos coming up. Stay tuned to all of my videos. And guys, I have over like 220 videos. If you get bored, go back and peruse some of my videos. You might find a knife there that you didn't even know existed, or a knife that you remember your granddad or your dad or your mom or your grandma using, or maybe a knife that your uncle gave you, and that you lost track of over the years. Check it out, I have a bunch of videos, a lot to choose from, and several playlists. So until then, this is a knife detector saying, enjoy the week, guys. God bless you. Keep your knives sharp. Keep your wits even sharper.